Hello, and welcome back to our third uh, video on living through the lens of dyslexia. Our first video was the introduction to dyslexia. Our second video was on the myths and the truths and the myths of dyslexia. And today we're going to talk about the challenges and the triumphs of living through the lens of dyslexia. Just as a point of information, this has been a very emotional process for me because I have not talked at length about my personal challenges with dyslexia. I have alluded to it every now and again, but to talk at length and go into the depth that we have, I've never done that before, and this has really been a challenge for me. So I thought it'd be fitting to discuss in this video the challenges as well as the triumphs of living through the lens of dyslexia. One of the things that I want to do in this video is to kind of give you um, a great example of the challenges that I have reading, especially if I know I have an audience. It just seems to make it more difficult reading with an audience for me. But I want to read for two reasons: to stay on script and to kind of give you also a snippet of how, as an adult with dyslexia, how I still read. It's even difficult for me to say dyslexia. I have to take my time to say it so I can say it correctly. But I want to read this first portion, and you'll be able to see the challenges that I still face. From learning and proper language coordination are difficulties which often lead to low self-esteem. Living a productive, healthy life is statistically challenging for dyslexics. Often feeling dumb, battling with depression in some cases, and experiencing isolation, self-isolation. Those who persevere through life through this lens must develop a winner's mindset. As a result of the desire to win, many dyslexics tap into their creative engines and gifts to fulfill tasks and have great success. So sad but true. So many, so sad but so true. Many dyslexic children grow up to be underemployed adults with dead end occupations and lives filled with woe and misery. Some have difficulties maintaining family and raising children properly. Many drift into drugs and alcohol, even a life of crime. Their loss and cost to society is uncalculated. Their loss and cost to society is uncalculated. And tragically, this loss was and is preventable. The part of the brain responsible for causing dyslexia, impaired CV functioning, is different from the brain structure responsible for gifted functions in individuals, the cerebral cortex or thinking brain. A dysfunction in one part of the brain, a disorder in one part of the brain may trigger compensator functioning in another area of the brain. Dyslexia may cause creativity because of a biological need to compensate for the dilemma. Y'all bear with me here. Lord Jesus. On the other hand, some dyslexics often found this challenge to be a catalyst for victory, forcing us to develop and utilize hidden talents. This fighter or internal push causes us to develop the mindset of never giving up, no matter how difficult the task. Success and triumph, despite dyslexia, can be accomplished. One of the things that I found, as I am finding, that with dyslexics, you have to develop a winner's mindset. You cannot have a defeated mentality. Statistics shows that dyslexics that have a woe is me mentality are underemployed. They're working in places that they don't have to. They just choose to because of the inability to push or to strive or to reach, and are working in places that are really beneath them, because each dyslexic, although we have that challenge, we have there's something that God gave us to be able to compensate for those challenges. We have a creative side that, when tapped into, can open so many doors for us as dyslexics. So many doors of opportunity are available if we tap into that creative side. So although we're challenged, we have triumph if we push and work smart and allow those creative juices to flow in our brains that are there. So we're challenged, but we also can have great triumph. Challenges as a child, insecure, you lack confidence, you're different, you struggle to fit in, you're emotional. That's one of the symptomology of someone with dyslexia. They're just an emotional being. You feel stuff, you feely. um, those are challenges. An insecurity, lack of confidence, different, a struggle to fit in, and you're emotional. These are challenges, but the triumphs are, when you fight through. There's a creativity that comes when you are, if we allow it. There's a creativity that can be birthed if you have a midwife. Like I had Mrs. Baker, and she, although she saw my challenges, she pushed me and helped me to push into that creative side of me. And although it was hard for me to read, I was reading at 4. I was a star reader for 4 weeks in a row. You got to have a pusher. And if you don't have a pusher, there's an inner pusher in you. Challenges are the same as a teenager. And as a teenager, you have the challenge of your peers, the smart kids, the geeks, the popular kids. You have all that's factoring in to this scenario now. The insecurity is heightened. The lack of confidence is through the roof. Feeling different than everybody else is on 10. The struggle to fit in, oh my goodness, it's already there in those teenage years and in that area of your life. But it's like heightened when you're struggling with dyslexia. But that same inner push that same creative energy as you grow, it grows. It grows. And the areas of creativity that you have begin to develop even the more. So you're challenged on this side, but that God given creative force that's in you, as you get bigger and grow, it gets bigger and it grows with you as an adult. Those same challenges, they don't go away, of insecurity, though they they don't go away. I mean, of course, I'm speaking of in the natural side of us. Um, but those, as you grow, those challenges grow. But the beautiful thing about this whole process, as each level that we grow from child to teenager to adult, all of those issues and challenges that we had, we have the ability, because we've been living it for a while, to learn how to be productive and progressive. We learn how to use these creative giftings that God gives us, and they become a benefit to us. And with dyslexia, that creative side of us is, it's amazing. We see things already from a different spectrum. But as a dyslexic, you if we can put from pen to paper uh, what we are able to see and to create, it's mind blowing. And so many have, like Picasso and Michelangelo. These were people that were dyslexic, and they put uh, that creative power into painting, into portraits, into arts. And we'll talk about in our next video those that overcame these challenges, and the triumphs uh, are mammoth. And you will be surprised, some of the professionals that have gone from child to teenager to an adult, and that are living amazing lives, fruitful lives, that are millionaires and billionaires, and that are in the archives of our history, that overcame every insecurity, overcame every uh, ounce of lack of confidence, overcame the struggle to fit in, and have produced some of the uh, most eloquent writings and books and witty inventions, because they chose to not allow their challenges to cripple them, but instead have excelled. We've said it in the videos before this one, that whatever we do as Christians, as believers, we do it through Christ. He is our source. He is our strength. He goes before us, and he makes every crooked place straight. The things that are most difficult for us, when we have him as our center, he gives us the wisdom, and he gives us not wisdom of this world, but he gives us wisdom from on high. And with that wisdom, we can overcome any challenge, and we can have victory through Christ. The challenge, although I'm challenged, I have victory through Christ. Be blessed.